Hello, my name is Jonathan Inyo. I was given an opportunity by Walt Disney Animation Studios to interview Ruth Strother, who is an associate producer in the development department. This interview was conducted just a few days before I graduated from college. And at the time that I'm recording this intro, and at the time that you're watching this, I am happy to say that I have received a bachelor's degree in arts, technology, and emerging communication from the University of Texas at Dallas. During this interview, I asked her questions about the goals she has for her work at Disney, how she challenges herself and others to step outside of the comfort zone at work, how she handles conflict when creative differences arise, her advice for animation students who want to work in film and television, and what it was like for her to work on Far From the Tree, an animated short film Disney released last year. Also, you can currently watch it on Disney Plus. Let's begin. The first question I have for you is, what are some short and long-term goals that you have for your tenure at Walt Disney Animation Studios?
That is a great question. The thing I always tell people at our studio is that things change really quickly. Things can move really slowly, it feels like, and then change really quickly. So if you get your heart set on doing one specific thing in the long term, sometimes things can change and projects change all the time. And so it's a really good, there's some wisdom in holding things loosely and not being too disappointed if things that you really, really want don't happen. So I think my long-term goal is just to be really good at my job, whatever that looks like in the future, and wherever I find myself, whatever projects I'm asked to participate in, that I'm really good at it, and that I am a good support to the team, and that I am a good cheerleader and a good coach and a good strategist, and all the things that my job requires of me. And if I can just do my very best every day, I think that is the cheesy answer, but also the true answer of my long-term and short-term goals, to be honest. Just to, as our favorite Anna says, just do the next right thing every day. And hopefully over the long term, that will build a really fruitful career.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because I just had a meeting with Jessica yesterday, and she mentioned do the next right thing.
Oh, that's
so,
awesome.
so yeah, so yeah, that's something I keep into account too, and definitely learning how to be a team player is something I'll keep and just move forward, especially as I'm about to graduate soon as well. Just keep that in the back of my mind. And so, leading into the next question I have for you is, how do you challenge yourself and others to step outside of the comfort zone when working on projects?
The good news is it's not hard, because I think we have very high standards of excellence at our studio. We have we like, as a studio, challenge ourselves to take on a whole lot of projects, and to do as much as we can. And we all love creating, we love being part of this process. And so I feel like every day is pushing us out of our comfort zones, like it or not, ready or not, here we come, because there is just so much going on all the time. And every new department that you step into, if you're in production management, you have to learn this whole new set of language, basically, this whole new set of the pipeline. And the more we go along, the more you have to learn. And so you find yourself speaking this new language all the time with different artists that you're interacting with. So I think it's not difficult. It almost becomes second nature to just know that everything we do is going to stretch us and grow us and push us out of our comfort zone. And I think the real trick is to get good with that, and to be okay with that, and not let it it's like going on a run. You get to the point where you know how to endure it, rather than getting stressed out by it.
And it actually ties in greatly with the next question I have for you. So, how do you handle conflict in the workplace when people do have those creative differences? And you mentioned communication across teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think we really value leading with kindness and empathy in our studio. That there is an emphasis placed on, we need to be able to step into each other's shoes, and also have a real genuine kindness towards artists. That creative people, there's a tenderness, and there's a vulnerability that comes with working as an artist in whatever that looks like, whether it's the storytelling side of things, whether it's being an animator, whatever artistry we're talking about. There is a vulnerability that comes with that. And I think because it's a studio full of artists, there is a real empathy towards that. And so as leaders, we really value being able to have tough conversations from that lens, and be able to speak, give straightforward feedback and notes, and work through conflict in a way that's honest, but also deeply empathetic and kind, and understanding that we're all part of the same team. We all want to make really wonderful things, and that sometimes people do disagree on creative differences, and that's okay. And the nice thing about our studio too is the best idea usually wins. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. We'll just figure out what the best idea is to move that particular project forward. And without prejudice, that is what will win, no matter where it came from.
And one thing I definitely appreciate about the studio, so creative driven. And we see that with recent projects such as Encanto, for example, just taking over the internet. Like, for example, we don't talk about Bruno, have friends to talk about it as well, that song. And so just based on the experiences you've had and what you've seen others do in the studio, what advice do you have for animation students who want to work in film and television, just on a general level?
I think the first thing is to love film and television, and to love, figure out what it is you love. And not everyone, like we said, not everyone loves the same thing, and that's good. And that brings this whole range of ideas and looks and different styles. And we want our products all to have very unique look and feel. And so the more people who come who just love animation, who love film and TV, who love storytelling, the better ideas are going to come out of that. So I think love what we're doing. Don't resent being a storyteller, because that's not going to work. And get really good at your craft, whatever it is, whether it's animating or layout or lighting or effects or leadership. If you're in production management, learn as much as you can about your craft and be really, really good at that. And I think people will notice that if there's a passion and the skills, then that's a great combo.
And you mentioned production management, and I know you produce Far From the Tree, which one thing I love about it has raccoons, which are raccoons are actually some of my favorite animals. They're in that category, they're up there, that top tier. So what was the experience like producing Far From the Tree for you?
It was so wonderful. It really, really was. And, Natalie has said a lot. Natalie Niragat, who is the director, has said that raccoons are her favorite animal. When people go, why raccoons? And she's like, I just love them. They're my favorite. And we did a lot of work and research around the story and discovered that they were the perfect fit for the story that she wanted to tell, which was amazing. It was all very serendipitous. So that the whole experience was such a gift to us. We felt so fortunate that we were asked to take on that project, and that the studio trusted two, first time filmmakers to really dive in and tell a story that she really felt deeply about and was so deeply connected to. And we felt a real responsibility with that too, that we were being entrusted with this team and this project, and that we wanted to make something that was worthy of living in the Disney canon. It's such a legacy, and we really felt the weight of that every day. And I think it shows on the screen. We're super proud of how it came out and the story that we ended up telling. We really, feel so deep, so much love for it, because it just was a really special film. But more than that, it's because the team was so special, and we just every day loved working with the group of people that we pulled together. And on a short, it's always a very different experience, because everyone has much more of a voice in the room. There's a lot that, without the 800 people working on when that gets a bit unwieldy. But in a small group, everyone is really able to contribute to the process. And we loved our team so much. They were so creative, and they all had such a stake in telling a great story that looked beautiful too. So it felt like such a team effort, something that our whole team could be really proud of. And yeah, I will be very, very thankful for that opportunity. No matter where my career goes after this, it's that will always be such a sweet spot in my heart.
And I am definitely glad to hear all that. And I definitely wish you best of luck with your future, whatever you have going on as well. You
Thank
actually
you.
went, oh yeah, you're welcome.